guys.
Hi.
The movie was fantastic, and what I love most about it is Poe is becoming the spiritual leader, and he is brainstorming throughout the movie his one-liner of wisdom. So if you could have a one-liner of wisdom, what would it be?
Wow. You're asking the wrong person, because my wisdom does not come in one-liners. My wisdom comes nowhere. Can you answer? Do you have any one-liners of wisdom?
Don't let your dog poop in a jacuzzi.
Ah, see?
Especially with like other people around. You think, you know, they call them floaters for a reason.
Oh my goodness.
And guess what? No one will like your dog after that.
So
They're like, get
wise.
that thing the hell away from me. How dare you?
I mean, how do you know when they're gonna poop in the jacuzzi?
You shouldn't even be putting dogs in the
I was
jacuzzi.
gonna
It's hypothetical.
Yeah, exactly.
Pool.
The pool, yeah.
The ocean as well. And humans.
The ocean seems safe. It's filled with whale poo. Why can't you poo in
By a
there?
dog, I mean.
Oh, by a dog.
humans.
It might attract
Coyotes.
a scary shark, though, if they're like,
And the police if it's in, you know, the Borgata.
right.
Okay, she gave you a one-liner.
What about
Can you
you?
give us a two-liner?
Oh my God. Back to me with
Can
my
we get
smart
a
nuggets
half
of
a
wisdom.
liner?
Come back to me later. I'll have a smart one by the end.
Okay. So you guys have both done a lot of animated movies, and the animation VO is always unique. Do you have any tricks for how you nail each take?
You know what? Here's the thing. Sometimes I'll blow my mind with a take that I do, right? And then the director will be like, "Oh, perfect. Do that again." And I freeze up because I'm like, oh, "What if I can't do it again?" I think, you know, and your brain gets in the way. So my trick with myself is just to tell myself, "It's all in your head, bro. Just do the best you can." And then it frees me up to kind of relax and have fun with multiple takes. Because a lot of the job is like, do that again. Do it several times. Do you know what I'm talking about, though? When you kick butt on a scene, on a take, and then they're like, "Okay, so that was great. We were really wide. We couldn't even see your face. So do it exactly like that, because that was great."
Right,
You're
right,
like,
right,
"What?
right.
I can't do it again?"
Yeah, and then you do it again, they're like, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah.
And then
totally.
they're like, "No, but we also want to get the camera from this angle."
Yeah, right.
You have to kick its butt. You have to nail it from several times.
I want to know why it took so long for Tenacious D to get a song in Kung Fu Panda.
This was the first time anyone asked. Our director, Mike Mitchell, said, "Hey, we would love to have a Tenacious D song in the end credits." No one's ever asked for that before, so
I'm surprised you
I was
didn't
just
demand it.
stoked.
And
That's why.
It's an epic song. It's an
It's
epic cover.
I mean, how did you land on Britney Spears' Baby One More Time?
I have to give credit where it's due. It was my manager, Sharon Jackson. She said, because I was trying to think of like, what would be the right cover, and we were talking about a bunch of different ones, and she said, "You should do Britney Spears." I was like, "Oh my God, that's genius." That's it, Sharon.
And last question for you. Your character's very sneaky. Have you been sneaky recently? Can you expose anything to us?
Oh man, I haven't been sneaky recently. I guess I was sneakily waiting for a parking spot the other day, and I kind of
nice.
bamboozled somebody.
You're stealth.
That wasn't sneaky. We got into a confrontation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I had been waiting.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you
then-
win?
Well, I backed up in such a way that I mean, yes, I did win.
I love it.
Right.
I did win.
But but it wasn't without conflict.
There were some soft words exchanged.
Oh, soft. As long as it stayed soft.
Well, there was just motioning.
Was
in
there
from
a
inside the
window
car.
down where excuse me, are you serious about this? Are you really taking that space that was
Or
definitely mine?
Ignore it. Yeah. Or just like, there were words exchanged, and then it was, I mean, I wasn't. That doesn't answer your question because that was not sneaky. That was very obvious.
But you won, and that's what's
I
important.
won.
You probably wish you could have given him the Kung Fu kick, right?
I couldn't.
But was there weird, like passive aggressive? Wow, you're really taking that?
It was like he was like, oh well, obviously this is mine. Obviously, like whatever, it's a man's world, right? And then I was like, oh, did you think that? And then because I was at the space, and when the dude pulled out, he was gonna, and I just zoomed in, and then he like kind of parked in front of me to just be like, like it. But he was like a young guy, so I was like,
Yeah.
well, yeah. And he's like, hey, look at that. And then I was like, my phone. Oh, I just got put my. I just ignored him, and then
the way to
That
do it.
got
When you-
spicy though.
Yeah,
It had a
yeah.
potential to escalate.
You know what? Let it escalate.
Slow-mo,
punch me, dude.
parking,
Punch me,
road
dude.
rage.
Yes, let's see what happens.
I would have done a kick out the window.
You would have. Wait a second. You're saying you would have said.
What you would have done?
Excuse me. Was that your parking
What would you have
space?
done? These.
How about some of these?
Hell yeah, dude. Yes. What I like when you. I actually like. Okay. All right, well, that one's new.
That's a new one.
You don't.
I think I pulled some.
You don't. Yeah. Don't. That one will pull something.
It was worth it.
Okay.
You're welcome, Regal.
Yeah, dude.
So tell me a little bit about how you prepared coming into the 4th installment of an already very established franchise.
Well, the thing that probably took the longest for us to get to the big screen is we wanted to make sure we weren't just telling another story. This had to be the epic kung fu adventure for Po, the Kung Fu Panda, and it had to be the funniest. And then the hardest thing was, I think this franchise has the best villains ever created from any animated franchise. I love these villains. They're so awesome. And we wanted to make sure we had the best villain for this installment. So it wasn't until we had all those things lined up that we felt confident and like, all right, we're gonna make it.
I love that. So would you say the villain is your favorite character of the film?
She is definitely one of my favorite characters of the film. I think I have to say, yeah, it's hard to choose. I even like that granny boar. Like I'm thinking of every character in the film now. It's hard to choose a favorite.
But if you had to pick one, what do you?
If I had to choose
who
a
do you
favorite
relate to the most?
If I had to choose a favorite villain, she is absolutely the favorite villain, and a close second is Tai Lung. Oh my gosh, it is so hard to do a villain more spectacular than Ian McShane as the evil snow leopard, and I feel that we did it.
You nailed it.
It doesn't hurt to hire Viola Davis, by the way. That helps quite a bit.
Yeah, she's great. What's your favorite part of directing an animated film?
It's probably just working with the artists and the actors, and working in animation. It's different than live action where you can try anything. For example, when we're recording Jack, we're not waiting for the sun, we're not racing the sun going down. There's no hair and makeup. There's no lighting. It's a very playful time to just try stuff back and forth. That's where all those weird ad libs and his odd words come from. Skadoosh, shashabooey, like all of that is just, it's a very creative, playful, funny space. And similarly, that's the same with the artists. With the artists, we just try whatever we want to. We try every which way to make the funniest joke or make a fight sequence even more spectacular.
One of the things that I loved the most about the movie was how Po is constantly brainstorming his sort of one-liner of wisdom.
Yeah, he's working on it. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it right.
Yeah, so if you had a one-liner of wisdom or just a motto that you live by, what would it be?
I always say, I'll try to say it in Spanish. My Spanish is terrible, but cierra la boca no entran moscas. And that means in a closed mouth, no flies enter. And that's something I can learn because I talk too much. I need to shut my mouth and I need to listen more.
I love that. You sound like Jack, because in the theater the other day during the premiere, he decided to kick instead of talk.
That's right.
You opted to talk.
I opted to talk, and I shouldn't have. Although I did do sound effects sometimes when he kicked later on, and I'm like, I think I'm good at that. I could do sound effects.
Yeah,
that doesn't embarrass me.
Those were great.
I love his proverbs though too. I'd like to steal his because one shouldn't do a deep squat with a chopstick in one's pocket. I think that's really handy for everyone. And then money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy a lot of dumplings. I think that's we could apply that to our real lives, I think.
Mm-hmm, that's my favorite too. Last question, what would be your advice to an aspiring Dragon Warrior animated director looking to jump into the movie world?
Well, I'll say this, we live in an age, even with that phone that you have in your hand, we have all the equipment that we need to make a film, to start making things. And I think just to start making films and showing them to your friends and working with your friends is a great kickoff to having a career in filmmaking.
So should we all be figuring out which animal our friends are and then starting to sketch that out?
Exactly, that's exactly right. And by the way, easier than you would think. You could look at your friends now and go, okay, that is definitely a boar pig.
Yeah,
okay,
what animal would I be?
I think you would be some sort of wonderful elk of some sort. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe it's your shoes are distracting me.
Someone to be hunted for sure.
Well, yeah, look at those hooves. That's like pretty
that's very
spectacular.
true.
And it looks like they've been in the snow. There's something icy about them.
I love that. Usually people say a bird, so I appreciate
A bird.
it. Yeah.
All right.
I've got a nose, but thank you so much.